we reached the conclusion of this review for the Yamaha R3 2019 Yamaha R3. So with that being said, I wasn't really prepared because I don't like really having too many people around me when I'm doing my videos. So bear with me for just a moment. Alright, let's talk about the styling of the bike. Yeah, it's a beautiful bike. It resembles closely to, well, actually that's a lie. It has no resemblance towards the R6, the R7, the R1. It looks like a miniature pocket bike for the R7. The R7 has a little bit more oomph, as you guys know. It's roughly around 67, 70 horsepower, and the torque is actually pretty good from the get-go. It's the same power plant as the Yamaha MT-07, or back in the day FZ-07. So the same except it's tuned out a little bit more to cater to people who actually want to not do any hoonigan stuff, just more like a track-based type of thing, or carving the canyons. Just your typical weekend bike for carving canyons. Regardless, nonetheless, I digress. The R3 is a typical daily commuter bike. Yeah, it's a daily commuter. It's perfect for going to work, going to get some groceries, like the video that I did before about grocery getting for the Kawasaki Ninja 400. This is the same concept, except it doesn't have that power, that punch that the Kawasaki Ninja 400 has. Remember, the Kawasaki Ninja 400 has a more high-end torque and top end as well. This bike doesn't do that. This bike actually just tries to cater with what it's got. So pretty much it's standard 0 to 60 in 5.1 seconds, and a top speed, as you can see, the person that had this bike limited the bike over to 105 miles per hour, when in reality this baby here can top off at 112, 115 tops, in comparison with the Ninja 400. Ninja 400 tops up at 120. Some people said that in the tuck you can go 122. I have yet to do that. The most I've gone is 119, almost this close to breaking the top speed. Considering that my limiting light didn't go off, I say that there's more to that bike than there is. This bike made me miss my bike. The styling, I think this bike has a better look than the Ninja 400. The Ninja 400 has that big schnoz in the front. This one has a more sloped down nose, kind of like a beautiful Roman sculpture, you know, the nose, the face, and everything. It just droops down. It's perfect. You can tell it's an R3 from far away. It doesn't have that aggressive stance, that aggressive poise. My legs, though, they're more to the back from the rear sets than my Ninja 400. So the rear sets are a little bit higher, but I sit in the bike, not on the bike. So unlike my Ninja 400, where I'm on top of the bike, letting you actually adjust your rear sets more and your clip-ons to actually have it's more capable to do an aggressive stance, to make it a twin track bike. You can't discount this one. This one will also do the same thing. Let's talk about engine and power. Yeah, 321cc power plant that we have, same thing that's found on the MT-03, the one that I once owned. It lacks power. Yes, it doesn't have that punch like I just said earlier. No top end speed or no high torque value for at least the 300 to 400 category. Between this one and the Ninja 400, Ninja 400 wins it hands down in the power. More top end, faster speeds. If anything, where this bike wins, it's gonna have to be in handling. Handling on this department, man, I barely put any force into the handlebars, into the clip-ons, and all of a sudden I'm just doing this. And that's great. That's something that you actually look forward to. You don't want to actually be struggling with the Ninja 400. You can do that. It's just it takes a little bit more push, because you got to think you're adding a little bit more weight to that bike. The power plant's bigger, the fairings, there's more extra fairings. There's other stuff that you don't see on this bike. This bike is a little simple, straight down to the point. And yeah, so when you need to get go, this will actually do the job. Honestly, daily commuter. You want to go canyon carving, I think it's capable of doing a canyon carve. I didn't bother doing that. Didn't have that much time this weekend, but and my canyon carving skills actually suck. So I need more practice. That's just me admitting my truth. I need more practice in my canyon carving skills. So that's why I don't dare do that. But I'm pretty sure that this one can capably keep up. If my MT-03 can do it, so can this bike. And that MT-03 is limited more than this one. The exhaust sound. Yamaha has a real problem, and I've noticed that even with the baffle off, because this one doesn't have the baffle in there. they lack that punch when it comes to sound. My MT-03 sounded like trash after I put the Leo Vinci level 10. This one has an Akrapovic slip-on, and to be honest with you, not impressed. It almost sounds fully stocked. If anything, I think that the cat needs to get out of this bike. Unlike my Ninja 400, I didn't have to do that. All I had to do was just slip on the level 10, and that thing sounds aggressive. I've gotten so many compliments on the exhaust sound. Again, the weight, it beats the Ninja 400. It's very flickable, like I said. Clip-ons are good. You can actually maneuver easily through any corner, tight corner. That's why I said I think in the Cancun this thing would be perfect because of the nimbleness. That's the one thing I love the most about Yamaha. They are very nimble bikes. My first accident was attributed to me and my stupidity, but this one, I think it would do really well. Honestly, I don't think there would be a problem. Suspension and brakes. Well, you can tell that this bike, I had some struggles the other day with the brakes on this bike. It looks like it needs an engine, not engine, wow. It looks like it needs a brake change. Brake pads at least. It's a 300. You don't want to do anything major, so a couple of EBC pads would do the job, would suffice both forward and aft, more preferably forward. The back still had bite. ABS kicked on a few times because of that, because I kept trying to brake and it wouldn't do it. It would do it, but really slowly, even though I was doing the gentle squeeze all the way down. And I would have to push on the rear brake a little bit more just to get that extra bite, and the bike would like jitter a little bit, like that sound effect. Yeah, it only did it once, so after that I decided to ride a little bit more carefully because of that issue. Unlike my Ninja, I can easily squeeze, no problem. That's how you can tell my bike is brand new, because I don't have that problem. So it may sound a little biased right now, that's because the bike is new. This bike is close to that. My Ninja's almost at 2,000 miles, this one's at 4,000, so just double a bit. Yeah, so suspension, smooth. Every time I hit a road bump on it, no problems. So the points go to this one for suspension. It looks like it has leans, but then I looked at the catalog and everything that the R3 has. Same concept as all the other ones. It has that color. So that contrast of this forks are just beautiful. They add a little class touch, like the SP models. Not the SP models. Yeah, it is the SP models. So the MT-09 SP, the MT-10 SP, same concept. It looks really nice. It adds that extra touch of class. So the suspension has been great. Brakes, subpar. So this one's gonna be a half and half category for the Ninja and for the Yamaha. Fuel economy. This one is atrocious. I don't know how. I don't know if I was riding harder than normal, but the tank was full when I got it, and way too much more than I needed to. Like, I'm telling you right now, I rode less than I rode when I went to Julian, the mountains, to ride. My bike, at the end of that, going forward and back, I ended up with half a tank. Over here, not so much. 3. Fuel economy, like I said before, this fuel economy on this bike, like I said, I think I was riding it a little too hard. I don't know. My Ninja, I went to Julian and back, and that's a long ride. It was like a total combination of maybe 2.5 hours. And I only got up to half a tank gone. And this bike, no, it wasn't the case. It was a full tank, and I still freaking went to half a tank. I didn't know what the heck I was doing wrong. So I don't know if it's just the persons before this, like the people renting the bike out, rode the piss pants out of it. So I don't know. Maybe that's it. It's just the average, the bad fuel economy. But when I remember my MT-03, the fuel economy was actually pretty good. I filled the tank up every 5 days because they had a bigger tank than my Ninja. So to be unbiased on that one, I'm gonna give the fuel economy to this one, considering I've ridden an MT-03 and I got better gas mileage than I did with my Ninja. So the points go to this bike. Features. There's really not that many features on this bike. It has ABS. That's about it. Unless you want to count a petrol gauge and count temperature gauge, digital display. That's about it. There's really nothing to this bike. My bike, standard analog display, has a petrol gauge as well, temp gauge. Mine has an analog gauge as well, so it's got a digital and analog. So, but in reality, in classy look, in the nice look, I'm in favor of an analog gauge. I like analog, but the way technology is going, digital gauge is the way to go. And so I'm gonna give the points to that one, to the R3 for that one. It's pretty good on that one. Price range, you get for what you pay. This one, $5,299. So let's just say $5,300 on this bike. And then you got the Ninja, $5,600. $600 because I got the KRT. Without it, it's the same price. So imagine if you don't care about the KRT livery. You put those two together. Let's say I get the black one or the dark navy blue one. You put that one with this one. That one beats the pants off of it. It really does. In aggressiveness and agility, even though agility is better on this one, but for the price range, you're getting everything, and including the kitchen sink. ABS on both sides, on both rear and forward brakes. That's all I really got for verdict wise. So let's see. Styling points: R3, engine and power, Ninja, exhaust, Ninja, weight, R3, suspension and brakes, that's a tie, so it's 3 and 3 right now. Fuel economy, since I've ridden an MT-03, it would have to be this one. Features, they're both pretty much the same, so that one goes to the R3. Price, we have to go to the Ninja for more bang for your buck. 5 out of 4. So does that mean that the R3 is the winner? I don't know. I think that's subjective, because preferably I like my Ninja more than this, even though I'm a Yamaha fanboy. I think it's because of the ultimate fun factor. At the end of the day, it's how much fun you have with the bike, what you do to the bike. I think with the power commander on this thing, baffles out on the exhaust, the cat out, and I'm gonna say a power commander, the baffles, it may be a possible intake. I think you got yourself a good bike. I think you got yourself a powerful bike, something more powerful than the Ninja 400, or maybe just up to par. But that's extra work you gotta do, so you take it how you want it. I mean, it depends on what fanatic are you. Are you a Yamaha guy or a gal, or are you a Ninja person? It's your choice. I wonder what I would have gone with if I've never wrecked my bike. Would I have gone with this one or the Ninja 400? I guess you can say the choice is truly yours. Which one are you, Team Blue or Team Green? You already know my answer.